Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Kelly. This is lesson 4.1 about extended multiplication facts. Today you'll learn a rule for solving multiplication problems involving multiples of 10. Please get that written in your notebook as well as today's date. When you're done, come on back. So the first question for you that you're going to want to write down in your notebook and try and solve is this. Stephanie has 20 seashells. Mrs. Kelly has 40 times as many. How many seashells does Mrs. Kelly have? Use any method you would like, but try and get that solved, and when you are done, come on back and check it out. So here's the thing, you could have done a lot of different methods to solve it. You could draw it, you could write out an addition problem with 40 20s, but as you probably know, if you did that, those take a lot of time, and they're pretty prone to getting some errors in there. When you have to do anything that many times, you're probably going to make some mistakes. So instead of those, let me show you this new easy method. I think you're going to love it. So here's a quick example of it. So I could do, I'm down here now, so I could do 2 times 4 equals 8. I'm getting the 2 from the 20, the 4 from the 40. And then I'm going to look at those two numbers and say, well, the 20 has a 0 and the 40 has a 0. So I'm going to add those two zeros to my answer. So my answer to 20 times 40 is 800. The 8 comes from the 2 times 4, and then I am going to add the 0 from the 20 and the 0 from the 40, and my final answer is 800. If you got the answer 800 a different way, I'm glad you got the right answer, but I'm going to be looking to get you to go my method. So when you look in your math journal at page 105, here's what you'll be seeing. Let's talk these through. So we're coming up with the rule for multiplying ones by tens and hundreds, okay? This first page is about multiplying by tens. So here's a fact triangle here. 2 times 3 equals 6, right? So the original fact is 2 times 3 equals 6. I can extend that fact by tens by saying, well, I could do 20 times 3, right? So I made this 2 into a tens, 20, and I would know that the answer would be 60, because I'm going to do that basic fact 2 times 3, and then I'm going to take the 1 0 from there and put it right there. I could also extend it by hundreds and say 200 times 3. So then I've got my 2 times 3 is 6. And then how many zeros? 1, 2. So 2 zeros go in the answer. That's how that works. So write this in yours, and then let's take a look at problem number 1. The original fact, 6 times 8 equals 48. If I extend that to 60 times 8, I'll still say 6 times 8 is 48. I have 1 0, so now that's 480. I could do it to 600 times 8. I'll still do the same basic fact of 6 times 8 is 48, and then I have 2 zeros. So my answer is 4,800. That's how that works. So you try the rest of this page. When you have the page all done, you can come back to me and take a look to see if you have the answers all correct. So here are the answers to that page. Hopefully you have these all correct. If not, we'll be going over them in the lesson, so don't fret, don't panic, but see if you can make sense of the answers that you didn't get right, if there are any. Then, I want to just say this to you. You need to be really careful of problems that have a 0 in their basic fact. So for example, 4 times 5 is 20. When I do 4 times 50, I don't want you to think, oh, well, it should be 20 because I'm going to have just 1 0. That's not right, because the basic fact 4 times 5 is 20, gives me this, and then I have 1 0, I'm going to add it, 1 0. So the answer really is 200. Be careful of those kinds of problems. When we look at this all together, I just wanted to review a couple things with you. So when you're multiplying a number by a multiple of 10, you do the basic fact and add 1 0. And when you're multiplying a number by a multiple of 100, you do the basic fact and then add 2 zeros. Let's make sure that we understand why that makes sense. So when you look at the problems that I've listed here, I hope you can see that 200 is 10 times bigger than 20. Therefore, the answer of 600 should be 10 times bigger than 60. Does that make sense? I hope so. That's definitely the math behind the shortcut method. So I hope you understand that. If not, you definitely want to talk to me about that in the lesson. Then, here's what you want to do next. So you've got this page, which is the next page in your math journal, and now we're talking about multiplying tens by tens, okay? So the original fact on this one, 3 times 5 is 15. So if I'm going to extend this one and do 30 times 50, I'm extending both of the facts here, right? 30 times 50. I would still do the same thing. Basic fact, 3 times 5 is 15. How many zeros are in this problem? There's one there and one there. That's 2. And that will give me that answer. So same thing here. If I do the original fact of 6 times 4 equals 24, if I extend it to 60 times 40, or 40 times 60, either way, right? I would have 24, and then 1, 2, 1, 2 zeros. You go ahead and do the rest of this page. When you're done, come back and take a look to see if you have all the answers correct. And here you go. Here's that page with all the answers correct. If you didn't get something right, correct yours, and then be ready to talk to me about it. Remember, you should always be correcting these in pen, so you and I can have a good conversation about it, and you can go back to study it later. All right, here's the home link. Here's what that looks like. Go ahead and figure that out. Just going through this with you really quickly, though, when I look at this problem, I would say 2 times 300, where my fingers would go together, that's what answer goes there. 2 times 2,000, that's what answer goes there. 300 times 3, where my fingers would run together, that's how this kind of chart works. 2,000 times 3, where my fingers would run together, that's where the answer goes. So that's how this chart works. Some of them are a little tricky. Be patient with yourself. Give it a really good try. You want to make sure you can prove to me you get this, so you can go on. When you have that home link all done, I did go ahead and put the answers on here for you, so come back and take a look when you're done. Make sure you're correcting in pen. And here are the answers there. Obviously, on problem 7 and 8, you got to make those up, so hopefully you did them correctly. Make sure that you're looking at the problems at the bottom. These have to be done, and they are going to count towards your score now. As I was saying, these have to get done because you were having difficulty making sure that they're accomplished, so they're going to count towards your score. So if we're looking at the numbers of problems on this page, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So this is out of 44. Make sure you have put your answer of the amount you got correct up here, and then it's a division problem. The amount you have correct divided by 44. And that will give you your percent. All right, have a great night.